Caribbean societies are relatively young, and in many of them, histories of oppression linger in the real lives of people and communities. Constitutional attorney and academic Dr. Arif Bulkan has offered himself as an advocate on behalf of two of the most marginalized of these communities, the indigenous peoples and the LGBT community.
His most remarkable achievement was basically working for the government of Guyana and drafting the Amerindian Act in 2000, which of course was the first such act in this part of the world.
As an academic, he has provided training to the Guyanese civil society movement broadly through SASOD as the founder and secretariat of a civil society network called the Guyana Equality Forum. Civil society activists across Guyana benefited from human rights training at which Arif and Tracy Robinson were co-facilitators on numerous occasions over the years in Guyana.
Many people are victims of oppression, but only a special few are motivated to act by it.
My interest in human rights started at a very young age, when I was growing up, I think, in a very repressive environment in Guyana in the late 70s and 80s. So it was a period when political and civil rights were under severe threat. There wasn't a free media, people couldn't hold demonstrations or marches, and it was being exposed to that, I think, created my sensibilities.
Dr. Bulkan was educated in Guyana, then the UWI, University College of London, and Osgoode Law School in Canada, where he did his doctoral work on the impact of colonialism on indigenous rights in Guyana. As his education progressed, he returned to Guyana to work with the DPP, teach at the university, and for private practice. In 2008, he was hired by UWI Cave Hill, where his activist work entered another phase when he met Tracy Robinson and Douglas Menz, and the organization URAP was born.
We formalized it in this project called University of the West Indies Rights Advocacy Project, or URAP.
It is in this sphere that Bulkan is able to be most effective as an academic, a litigator, and an educator.
We have scholars, but they may not be great advocates. We have advocates, they may not be great scholars. I think Arif is both a scholar and an advocate.
His effect on social issues was made manifest in his impact on his students from his days as a part-time lecturer at the University of Guyana.
I know Dr. Bulkan since 2001 when I was a first-year student at the University of Guyana. Initially, when conversations were started about the formation of SASOD in 2003, he was involved in those preliminary conversations.
He worked with communities over the years through non-governmental organizations like Conservation International, Krama, where they would go out and consult with communities on indigenous land rights, indigenous rights and responsibilities.
His advocacy in what started as a small case in Guyana could be the spark that burns down institutionalized bigotry to the LGBT community.
Life is very difficult for transgender women in Guyana. Access to housing, access to education. Transgender persons are being bullied out of school from a young age. There are no existing job opportunities, and with the help of Dr. Bulkan, who's very supportive, we're hoping that this laws can be changed.
URAP had planned to institute litigation in Belize. However,
just before we actually filed the case in Belize, there was a report as well in Guyana of the arrest and conviction of 7 cross-dressers. The police had recently started using this law, but invariably against very poor people, and that's the reality of these kinds of vagrancy laws. They tend to be applied against the poorest of the poor.
taking up the rights of lesbians, bisexuals, gay and transgender people might seem to go against the grain of regional sentiment.
LGBT or litigation on behalf of LGBT persons is unpopular because the issue itself is unpopular in the Caribbean. The debates around this tend to be hijacked against the most vocal, whom we are never clear that they are in a majority. In fact, the few polls that have been done, some by cadres in Barbados, around public opinion, show that increasingly, especially younger persons in the Caribbean, are more tolerant.
While the LGBT community would directly be affected by the outcome of the litigation, the potential effects of Bulkan's work are much broader.
We haven't quantified the benefits of our project regionally, but we are aware of the quantifiable benefits in terms of, because of the studies that have been done elsewhere, so that persons who are not criminalized or not otherwise excluded can pursue other more meaningful occupations and contribute to society.
His work is grounded in the Caribbean. When we studied law, there were practically no textbooks available to us as students written by Caribbean authors. Now that has changed, and Arif has made a significant contribution to that.
For these reasons, Dr. Christopher Arif Bulkan has been named the Anthony N. Sapga Caribbean Awards for Excellence Laureate in Public and Civic Contributions for 2017.